Well, this is the original dialysis unit, and it's on Sunset Boulevard. It was an insurance building back in 1971 when I think we rented it initially, and then we wound up purchasing it. I thought the parking lot was just along here. And of course, we didn't have all that many patients, so that was adequate parking for the patients. A bunch of different offices of different sizes. One of the most sizable room was the meeting room that they had, and we could put like 4 or 5 patients in there.
It was an experience, you know, to go in there, because I came there from the VA where I was trained at. Dr. gave me the opportunity to train me. And when we got down there, I think they was in their growing pains. My job was to rebuild dialyzers at night when they had finished. So I would come in there at 5 or 6 o'clock, get everything straightened up, and start building dialyzers. The only thing about building those killed dialyzers was, you know, you build them, they wouldn't hold air. Before you could sterilize them the next morning, they had to hold air. So you had to go in there, tear it down, and build it till it held air. And sometimes you would be there a little late.
But we were just, as Tom would say, we were struggling day to day to keep the doors open. We would be meeting every Wednesday at the Pancake Pantry and trying to figure out if we were gonna make it. So that was sort of the balancing act as we got started. And of course, the initial question was, can we do it? Can we set up a dialysis unit independent of the hospital, where there was only one such unit that we knew about, and that was out in Seattle at the time, do it safely, and also, could we convince that nurses who were used to dialyzing in the hospital that they would be willing to come on out to this place that was ultimately, I guess, what do you think? Sunset's about a mile from the hospital, and dialyze there. And the hospital at that time, the rules were that a doctor had to be in the unit at all times that a patient was being dialyzed, or at least within shouting distance. And we recognized that we couldn't do that as an outpatient, that we were going to have to lean more heavily on the nursing staff to assess patients when those patients came in to dialyze, and figure out, was that a patient that could safely be dialyzed without a doctor in attendance? So all of those questions were kind of swirling around, and so the immediate thing was, could we physically do it? Economics aside, could we do it? And very soon it was realized that we certainly could do it. The nurses over the first few weeks became very comfortable and probably kicked us out of the unit because they would prefer not having us breathing down their neck all day long. And they realized also, as I mentioned in one of those little tidbits, that they realized that most of patients who came in who were having problems, the problems needed dialysis as soon as possible to solve. And so they got comfortable accepting patients who were fluid overloaded and solving that problem with dialysis. And of course, these nurses were experienced nurses. They came from Vanderbilt. They were used to dialysis, and they were used to dialyzing a lot sicker patients than those who were coming to us. And they were clearly smart enough that if a patient came in serious trouble, to send them immediately to the hospital.